Welcome to Bones Collector, everybody. I'm going to talk about a game today that we just got done playing called Old West Empresario. Old West Empresario is a dice drafting game from Taste Your Minstrel Games. And I just did a video of Citrus, and I know a lot of you have played Citrus or have watched the video, and it's a very good game from Tasty Minstrel. And Tasty Minstrel is one of my favorite board game production companies. I mean, they do a great job producing board games with the component quality and so forth. But and this is no exception. It's got great component quality. The tiles are thick that you have in the game. All the ones that the cardstock is very good. You know, it has nice dice, although they're brown, and I don't like brown dice, so I switched them out with some dice that I thought were prettier for this game. And that's just I like these better. They're green and yellow, and they give the game a little more color. So I mean, you can judge for yourself if you get this game and you're okay with brown dice. And my wife said that when she thinks of the Old West, brown dice remind her of the Old West. So I guess some of you may feel like that too, but not me. I like pretty dice, so we use these dice. But it's a dice drafting game and tile laying, and you're simply going to roll the dice, place them up here on the boards where the numbers are. And in this case, I rolled 3 3s, a 1, and a 4. And then you take turns drafting those dice and picking tiles out of those columns where the dice are located. And then you start to lay them in your town. Now, that sounds very easy, doesn't it? Well, first of all, you're going to get a card at the beginning of the game, and you're going to be different characters. And each character has an asymmetric power, something different than all the other ones. You can play it with the easy side, where all the characters have the same benefit to begin the game. We don't like to do that. We like having playing the game with a little bit of a challenge. So each character has a different benefit that they give you, or something specific for your character that you can do during the game. So that's one thing you got to think about, because it gives you a direction in the game. So that's pretty cool. Then once you have those character cards, you're ready to go. You roll the dice. You have a couple of different things you can do. You can select a dice from the column where the dice happen to be located, no matter what. In this case, again, 1, 3, and 4 would be my choices. And I can select a tile from those 3 columns, or I can activate my town. And that's pretty much what you can do. Now, if you are out of money, and money gets it can be a challenge to get enough money to do the things you want to do. So if you get into a situation where you need some money, you can select a tile, trash it, and get $3. And I did that a few times. But most of the time, you're going to take a tile from the columns where the dice are located. You're going to place it in your town, and the way you have to place that is the way you score the points. And on the tiles themselves, they'll tell you that if, let's see what all I have here. Let's get a couple of them. But on this tile, hope you can see that. I don't know if, we'll put it on the screen maybe. But on this tile, you get a point for every blue type of building that you put around that. And it tells you right on the tile. Then you also score for the oil. It's in the upper left-hand corner. There's various icons in, I think it's cotton, oil, and railroads. And they all score differently, so it depends on how they score as to how you're going to want to lay those tiles in your town. And in this case, there's a cotton in the left-hand corner, and this says that you get 2 points for putting it beside a pink building, and 1 point for every red building surrounding it. And then at the bottom of each of these tiles is what triggers when you select that number of dice and activate your town. So in this case, if you activate a 4, you would get $2. You can see the $2 down there on the bottom of the tile. And in this case, if you activate this 5, you pay $1 and you get 2 victory points. And victory points are these little peoples here. And that's how they appear on the tiles. And so when it shows they're talking about victory points. And then it's a real challenge to build your city so that you can score. And I mean, it's really, really, it's not hard, but it's hard to do it well. I got slaughtered in this game, so it's hard to talk about it, but I didn't do very well, and Lori did very well when she was building her town, and you have to constantly think about where you want to place those tiles so that you can maximize the point scoring at the end of the game, and because that's what it's all about. Many times on the tiles, in this instance, in this carpenter tile, if you build buildings all the way around this, even diagonally, you get 4 points. On top of that, if you put it next to any purple buildings that are around it or adjacent to it, you get an additional point. And this is called a carpenter, and if you activate a 1, you build for free. And that's what the hammer and saw across like that means, you can build for free. So there's various ways to place these so that you can score and get maximum points. In this case, this Undertaker building, if you build the Undertaker, you lose a point for every constructed building that it touches. And so you got to be very careful about where you put that. You try to isolate that out on the outskirts of town. That's where the Undertakers usually are anyway. Back in the Old West, nobody wanted to see those dead bodies, so they were on the outskirts of town, and that really fits with the theme of this game. But I put it in such a place where I had it next to the carpenter, which is really stupid, because then I had to build all the buildings around here to get the 4 points, which a couple of them touched the Undertaker. I had to subtract those points from my total at the end, and I couldn't hide it as much as I wanted to, but that's what cost me at the end of the game. But yeah, this game is really, really, again, a very puzzly type of tile laying game. You have to think long and hard about where you place the buildings in your town and when you take the buildings, and I mean, there's just a lot to think about in this game, and it gives you in the rule book here, which is very good. The rule book is excellent, but on the back of it you get a chart, and it talks about how you score everything, and you need to know how to scoring is everything in this game, so you need to know how those tiles score by the placement in the town. So you need to have this showing. We had it standing up the whole time we played the game. We just stood it up by the box so that we could refer to it, because you need that reference to do the best you can when playing this game. The artwork on the tiles is very, very good. It looks very Old West. All the buildings, as you would imagine. There's civic buildings that have endgame scoring. There is what else we got? Distilleries. Boy, you know you had distilleries back in the Old West because everybody liked to drink beer. I know if I was back in the Old West, I'd be drinking a lot of beer. But yeah, the artwork's very good. The component quality is very good. Tasty Minstrel, hats off to them again for a terrific game. This is a real thinker. I mean, you're going to really sit and have to think when you're playing this game. Very similar to Warsaw City of Ruins or Glenmore, any of those tile laying games where you really have to think hard to put that puzzle together. It's really an excellent, excellent example of dice drafting and tile laying, and I would highly recommend this game, and I'm going to keep it for sure. That's Old West Empresario from Tasty Minstrel Games. And okay, I forgot to mention also, while you are building your town, there's going to be 3 stacks of wanted posters, you know, like that. I love that they're wanted posters, but they have certain goals you have to meet, and if you're the first one to meet them, you take the top card. The top wanted poster has more points than the bottom wanted poster. As I did there, I didn't do very good on that one, so I got the second place guy. But those will be laying up here, and once you meet those goals, you get those cards, and those are added to your point totals at the end of the game. The game comes with a scoring sheet to help you organize your scoring, because it's tricky. Just like you saw in this book. I mean, there's a lot of, those are all separate ways to score those tiles. And I mean to tell you, you gotta, when you're playing this game, you have to think about that. And then this score sheet helps you organize your scoring at the end of the game. So that comes with it. I never have used these $5 bills. Boy, it'd been nice to have to use, or to have $5. I don't think I ever, well, I did get $10 one time. And it doesn't matter really the shape of your town. You know, there's no restrictions as to how you lay the tiles in your town as far as the shape of them. you know, how many is in a column or how many in a row. It really doesn't matter. Again, you're just going to lay them to best maximize your point total for the end of the game scoring. And that's the beauty of it, folks. And that is Old West Empresario. I'm going to keep it. It's a terrific game from Tasty Minstrel. Thank you, Tasty Minstrel, for doing it again, knocking it out of the park. We really, really love this game, and we're going to enjoy it for many years to come. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I love all of you. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe, please. And I will see you next time here on The Bonus Collector. Love you all. Bye-bye.